All right, the next chapter of The War Within is coming. That is patch 11.2.7, The Warning. Now, that's going to bring us huge updates, some returning features that a lot of us have been asking for, and long-awaiting housing. And that all comes to us on the potential date of December 2nd. So let's get in there and let's break it down. First, right out of the gate, we are going to continue the War Within story. Now, that comes with Vereesa Windrunner. She has been haunted by visions of Quel'thalas falling and that new threat rising. So this is going to start kind of whetting our appetite for the Midnight expansion, which, is going to be here before we know it. And, any little bit of tidbit here and there that is going to get us rolling closer, I'm all in. In this patch, you will get early access to housing if you pre-purchased Midnight. Now, you will be able to get in there and maybe, look at some neighborhoods and kind of browse around and start collecting some stuff if you did not pre-purchase the Midnight expansion, but there's still time for that. But starting today, which is October 13th until October 16th, there will be a PTR test realm for housing, and it's limited. It's going to get in there. So if you're interested in it, like I've said before in previous videos, I'm not really gung-ho about it, but this is going to be where people get to test and try and such that see if they can stress test it a little bit and see what they can do. Now, don't be your typical Warcrafter and expect perfection, because it is a test. So my thought is that it'll come and go as it pleases. It'll shut down and work on itself. So definitely get there. Housing is on the horizon and right down the street. So get ready. Get your housing, get all your goodies and your couches and your beds and all your decorations ready for the Midnight expansion. If you'd like those Lorewalking quests that Lorewalker Cho gave us that in Dornagal, you get more of that. That is Blood and Void Elves themed. It's going to cover the Scourge attack on Silver Moon, just in case you weren't around when that happened. The Sunwell's corruption, also again if you weren't there for that. And it'll bring Vereesa Windrunner story kind of into the fold. So you got 3 new Lorewalking that I recommend that everybody should take advantage of, because I thought they were really neat, caught everybody up, told you some things you might have missed. But this will get everybody who is returning, taking a break, whatever have you, get you caught up for Midnight before, so you don't go rolling into the Sunwell and ask what's happened here and why we're doing any of this kind of stuff. If you're like me, you're a fan of Turbulent Timeways, well, that 10-week limited event is back and ready. We get to replay Shadowlands. That becomes a week. I know it feels so fresh in our mind that it really hasn't even dawned on us that it's been gone, because we talk so highly about Shadowlands. Remember, I didn't hate it as bad. Some of the dungeons were decent. We've had some reliving itself back in Mythic Plus. But yes, Turbulent Timeways is on the way back with Shadowlands making an appearance. So get out there, get those new appearances that always come with this event, collect your time tokens and turn them in for whatever you want. I'm going back to BFA and getting some things that I missed. This is one Heritage Armor that is coming in this patch. I've been waiting for a long time and was really hoping that they would do a great job with it. Pandaren, we get to travel back to the Wandering Isle and help restore their harmony during the Spirit Festival. Complete that quest line and you will get that the Pandaren Heritage Armor. You'll get a Horde version and an Alliance version, depending which might get both, but probably whatever you are. Blue and red, nice little thing covering their face, their hat with a little stick on it. There will be a picture here, but definitely I've been looking forward to the Pandaren Heritage Armor, because I was so in the monk for such a long time. And I say monk, but Pandaren monk, because it's the only thing they should be. Definitely excited to see that in live action. The fan favorite Brawlers Guild is coming back, guys. You get to fight solo bosses, climb the ranks, and earn new rewards. That includes housing decor, mount recolors, and even Bruce in a new variant form. That is the 6-legged crocolisk with tusks on him, and he looks really cool, like he's been dwelling down in the sewers for a long time. That will be available both in Orgrimmar and Stormwind. They are redoing new and returning player experience. You get a smoother onboarding for new players, and you'll be able to have a catch-up experience with guided tutorials and relearn gameplay and access to the latest content. Kind of spoon feed you slowly but surely and get you caught back up to where we all are in the War Within, just so you are ready to follow Xal'atath into the Midnight expansion. If you're still doing horrific visions, which I think we stopped at like patches ago, but anywho, you can now do both Orgrimmar and Stormwind anytime, no more weekly rotation. So if there's something you're missing, you just enjoyed that part of the content, they now lessen back the restraints a little bit so you can get in there and do whatever you want. Keep pushing, I guess, if you didn't get everything that you wanted. I did, and it was great while it was there, but I don't foresee myself ever kind of going back to that unless they bring it back again, which is always a potential. But definitely get out there and rerun it if you'd like. UI and some accessibility updates. You got the press and hold now works with a single button assist. Training dummies now can be marked on the map by guards in your major cities. The default for keys A and D have been updated to strafe instead of turning. So, you know, I think I always hold my right button down to make sure that I am always going side to side and forward and back. So probably a habit that I'm going to still continue to do unless they now made that turning. Then I'm going to have to relearn how to play differently, guys. I'll have to lighten up on my middle finger a little bit. We get new tutorials, better item comparison in the UI, and a refreshed cursor art. You've seen that slowly happening over time, but the grabbing, pointing, holding, and open now have all been updated in this patch. So that's going to be exciting to see. I like, you know, just bringing us to the new age, bringing us up to current times. Really cool to see that slowly happen. All right, and that is everything that is coming in patch 11.2.7, the warning. So what are you most excited for? The housing, heritage armor from Pandaria, or the return of the Brawlers Guild, which we've been asking for some time. So drop your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe for more World of Warcraft updates. See you next time.